All right, good Thursday morning on the eve of Christmas Eve. Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony, and
Hey.
Dan Proft. He is host of Black and Right Radio, Saturdays from 4 to 7 p.m. And you had 10 million people
Last month.
last month?
Yeah.
Well, you weren't here last month.
Ow.
He's been on a sabbatical, everybody.
But,
I want to be you.
Well,
That's all right. You deserve
we
it.
can't all be John Anthony.
You got to decompress.
John Anthony.
John Anthony, man of mystery. So you and I have been talking a lot because
Yes.
we both have watched Leave the World Behind on Netflix.
Not people.
What'd you say?
Leave the people behind.
Yeah, not Leave the World Behind, but it's an apocalyptic film starring Julia Roberts, her pea hat wearing husband who plays.
I couldn't believe. I'm
Ethan
sick of
Hawke.
that.
Why?
I'm sick of men being weak.
Well, wait,
in
let me
these
just
movies.
give the premise.
Okay, I'm
right?
sorry.
So, and they're not rich couple, but middle class couple. They live in the Bronx, and they decide to go on, like a little weekend getaway to a beach house, which is a beautiful beach house. Anyway, and the owners of the Airbnb come back because there was a blackout in New York, and he knew something and was being kind of cagey.
Right.
And some things happen. I don't want to give it all away, but you have Death to America flyers that were being dropped from Iran
A drone.
by a drone. And it was what they did was they attacked the site, our power plants, but also this, like everything went out first was they attacked our satellites that are up in the sky.
Right.
Or in outer space.
Cyber
not in
attack.
the sky. It was a cyber attack. Yes.
Yeah.
And then they had some racial overtones in it because the family that owns the house is black.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be dulled out easily to anyone, especially white people. Even Mom would agree with me on that.
So there's racial overtones, but that's why some people didn't want to see it because they thought it was too woke. And I said, no, there's just one part that's pretty bad.
Right.
But what did you think?
I thought it was a good movie. My concern is that a former sitting president who knows all of the secrets of America is executive producer and actually added copious notes to how the movie should actually be portrayed. That concerns me. That really concerns me because, like I said, he knows all the secrets.
And he knows the world enemies. Or
Yes.
America's enemies,
Correct.
excuse me.
I'm wondering if this had to be vetted through somebody,
No.
I don't know, the Justice
The
Department.
vetters are the Obamas.
Yeah, but because what I'm saying is,
And that was the Michelle Obama scene right there.
what if some of the stuff that he knows he put in that movie? That movie pretty much laid out how to attack America, how to destroy America, except for
A
the last part,
three-step
the
program.
fighting from within. We'll kill each other. I mean, that'll happen anywhere.
That would happen. Gosh, I think we're giving away a lot.
Oh,
Whereas we
okay,
asked
yeah.
Justin to see it. But you were mentioning Ethan Hawke, the character he
Yeah.
played. I am among people like that.
Yeah.
I live in that world. I used to live with people who would be out there shoveling with me when a storm hit. We'd uncover the drain so the water can get down and our cars don't get flooded. Guess who I'm out there with now?
Same.
Me, myself, and I.
Yeah, but
Because
this-
everybody outsources everything. There's no handyman for your house anymore.
Yeah.
They don't do the work.
Right.
Why pick a weed in your front lawn? Pay
Yeah.
somebody else to do it.
Not even just so much that his
He
mannerisms.
wasn't prepared.
But his mannerisms and, first of all, they tried to say that Julia Roberts and him were racist because they wouldn't let a black man in his own house. If I'm renting out, he ain't coming in. I'm sorry, they're not coming in there with me.
Doesn't matter what color
They're not.
they are.
I don't care what color.
But
You
they
are not.
did let them in.
Yeah, they wouldn't have come in my. I'm sorry. Get back in your car. Go wherever you gotta go. Right now, I'm in this house. I've rented this house out. You're not coming in here. I don't trust people like that. So that's why I'll survive at the end of the world. If we ever come to the end of the world, I'm going to survive because I'm not trusting anybody. You're not coming in my house. You come up in my house, I'm going to shoot you dead. DRT, right there.
But the Ethan Hawke character, I mean,
He's weak.
Well, yeah, but he admitted it.
But
He
strong
wasn't
woman.
prepared.
Strong woman.
But he
weak
wasn't
man.
prepared.
Yeah, he wasn't.
And what scares me even more is after watching this film, learning that none other than Mark Zuckerberg has built a home with a $100 million bunker in the basement.
Oh, does he know
A
something?
$100 million bunker?
Yeah. Does he know something?
Apparently, he must know something, unless he just has gobs and gobs of money to throw away on something like that.
Yeah. See, I'm an end of the world type of guy. I think they're gonna be zombies. Zombies will be among us.
Oh, stop.
The zombie. Well, we already got them now. Look at them when they're on drugs. They look like zombies, bent all over.
Oh, yeah, turn.
What's that? Waka Flocka?
What's that
whatever.
stuff called, Justin? That
Waka Flocka, whatever that drug
I thought
is.
tank. Oh my God, I can't even talk. Justin, help me out. Trank.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Wait,
look
how
like
do you know
zombies.
that? Wait, hold on now.
He
Wait a
knows
minute.
everything. All right. So again, the whole premise of the movie though started with a cyber attack, and with more on cyber attacks, real world stuff. Let's welcome back to the program Gordon Chang, author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War. And we want to mention his Twitter handle is at Gordon G. Chang. Again, that's Gordon G. Chang. And he wrote a column. Terrifying hacks on a critical infrastructure have arrived. America isn't ready. How apropos for today. Good morning, Mr. Chang. How are you?
I'm fine, Amy, and thank you, John.
Come on.
By any chance, did you see the Netflix film Leave the World Behind?
No, I didn't. So I was very interested in your description of it. And it sounds so gruesome that I probably am not going to watch it because it's very close to reality or what could very well happen.
Oh, dear.
Because we do have unprotected networks.
Okay, and can you describe? I know you wrote an article about terrifying hacks on critical infrastructure has arrived. Where is it happening in America?
So, for instance, on November 25th, an Iranian group, probably state back, took down the water system of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, which is near Pittsburgh. Now, through manual operations, people were able to get the system back up, but it was a critical vulnerability. And those same hackers subsequently hit 4 other water systems. But of course, we've had bigger hacks on infrastructure. So, for instance, the Colonial Pipeline hack of 2021, where Russian ransomware attackers were able to take down the pipeline system, which, of course, disrupted gas supplies on the East Coast and also disrupted airline operations. And, you know, there's a list goes on and on. But the real issue here is not so much that there are people who are attacking our infrastructure. It is that our networks are undefended and they are easy pickings. And we've known about this problem for a very long time, but have done relatively little about it.
Well, why aren't we ready? We're the most powerful country in the world. Why aren't we stepping up, as Mayor Lightfoot would say, and be more prepared?
Well, to a certain extent, we're oblivious. You know, you could ask the same question. Why were 19 terrorists able to take down, take 5 planes and take down 2 buildings in New York, 1 in Washington, D.C., when we had all the signs that this was going to happen, and when Osama bin Laden was continually talking about attacking America? You know, and then the question is, well, why were we attacked on December 7th, 1941? This is, I think, inherent in the United States, that we believe that we are invulnerable, that others aren't going to attack us. And even when others say they're going to attack us, we still do not pay attention. We are determined not to pay attention.
So what if they do take down a water plant? I mean, this disruption of critical infrastructure, then what? I mean, will they make demands in order you pay a certain amount and then we'll turn your water supply back on?
Well, on the November 25th attack, it was not ransomware. So they just wanted to disrupt. And here the motive was that they hit a piece of equipment that was obtained from Israel. And so the Iranian hackers had been going after this particular programmable logic controller in other water systems around the world. So we should have known it was coming. But this really was related to the Gaza war. So in a sense, the war in the Middle East has come to the United States.
Wow. Yeah, she wrote another article about that too, that the world is at war. So what can we do to protect ourselves, and what could Mr. Biden do, or the president do?
Well, first of all, I mean, they're very simple technological fixes, but really this is a political issue. So, for instance, we know the Chinese have switched the focus of their cyber attacks away from data theft and espionage to taking down critical infrastructure. I think that really what we need to do is impose severe costs on China in a non-cyber realm, because we don't want to disclose how good we are at cyber offense. So really what I think we should be doing is taking something that China really wants, taking it away, and saying, stop this, or we are going to continue to impose these costs. And I think that it's really, in the sense, you go around country to country and find out what they want and make sure they can't have it. This is going to be difficult for us. It's not an easy process, but we are critically reliant on our networks, and we are very vulnerable. So I think we have no choice. And unfortunately, this president and his predecessors have not taken the steps that were obvious. And obviously at this point, we're going to be rushing to do something. Right. Fortunately, on December 15th, the 15th of this month, the SEC has issued some rules which will have very wide sweeping effects on how public companies deal with cyber attacks. At least that's a start.
Yeah. Mr. Chang, as I look at this immigration issue, they said we've had a lot of Chinese nationals come into our country. You have a lot of people from Iran coming into the country. Could they be coming here to set up shop to attackers? And is it easier to launch a cyber attack within the borders of America, or distance has it's not about distance or space?
Well, John, a couple things. First of all, I do believe that they are operatives coming across our border. Border Patrol knows some of the Chinese have links to the Chinese military. We have seen other people come across the border with explosive devices that would be suitable for terrorism. There have been terror watch list individuals who have been nabbed at the border. Obviously, some of them have got across without our knowing. They're the getaways or gotaways. And China has had that secret biological weapons lab in Reedley, California, that was discovered this year.
Wow.
I think that really what these saboteurs were doing would be to link up with a facility like that, because that facility had at least 20 pathogens and almost 1,000 mice that had been genetically engineered to spread disease. So you can put two and two together to see what's happening. On your second question, I think it probably would be easier to launch a cyber attack in the U.S. because they wouldn't be coming from Chinese IP addresses, for instance. And so it would be maybe a little bit harder to detect. But clearly, when your networks are undefended, it really doesn't matter where the attacks are coming from.
Why wasn't that on the news that China a lab was discovered in California? I mean, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Oh, no, they barely touched on it. But they did touch on it.
That's a national security issue.
I know. We talked about it on the show when it happened. God. It's crazy. All right, Gordon Chang, we're going to have to leave it there for today. You can follow him on Twitter at Gordon G. Chang, author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War. Mr. Chang, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Amy and John.
Thank you,
I really appreciate it. And Merry Christmas to you both and to your listeners.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
Santa's coming to town. Oh, my God.
On AM 560.
Santa here? I know him.
The Answer.
Long day. Time to charge up.
Hey, just like my delivery truck.
Even kids know to keep business moving forward, it's time to make the switch to electric vehicles.